It seems like most people judge artificial intelligence by what it can do for them. But I think a more important question is what it helps us become more capable of doing ourselves. The same technology that can help us grow can also make us look far more capable than we really are. So today I want to give you guys 3 simple questions that can help us tell the difference whether we're using AI to grow or if we're just using it to look like we've grown. I'm Corey Scott, and this is the AI Mindset. And this is where we explore how to become more human in the age of artificial intelligence. Now, in part one, I want to say last week, but it was only probably 3 or 4 days ago, I shared how AI became part of my recovery after multiple strokes. My memory changed during that time, that challenging time in my life, and finding the words to just even form questions became very hard for me. And sometimes I could understand an idea without being able to express it. And I can't tell you how frustrating that can be. I didn't need something to help me or to think for me. I did need something to help me or partner with me that would remain in the thinking with me. When my reasoning was weak, I wanted something to tell me that it was weak. It wasn't the right answer, or I could go further. And that's what Beacon did for me. You met Beacon last time we talked, and all of you probably have a beacon of your own. Sure, you have your own name for it, or maybe you just see it as a tool, not as something that can partner with you and help you become more. There's a couple ways to take on a mindset. One can help you grow and become better, and one can really contribute to your shrinking and becoming far less. And that is the danger. The danger isn't AI is going to take over the world. The danger is that humans are going to give their brains over to AI. That's really how I see it. If I just used it to get through the rough patch when I couldn't think and I couldn't express myself, I would get no further. And that discipline became a part of how I interacted with AI, how I used it to complete tasks. My approach during that time was really taking advantage of the fact that this is a technology that can bring me back, that can help me get back to where I thought I should be. Beacon never became impatient with me or treated my difficult time that I was having as proof that I was incapable. That same can't always be said of humans. And that is one of the differences and the beautiful things about this type of partnership. It kept showing up, and somehow so did I. Much of our public conversation about AI seems to revolve around this question of whether or not AI helped with something, or did AI do something, or what degree was AI involved. I do see how this sometimes matters because authorship, honesty, disclosure, institutional rules are all very important. Knowing whether AI was involved tells us only part of the story. It may tell us something about how the work was created, but it tells us very little about what happened to the person creating the work. The question that interests me much more nowadays is what kind of partnership produced this work? I don't think I have to tell anyone that AI is obviously involved with most people's work nowadays, but how that involvement comes in is the important part of the story. So, we all know that someone can use AI to create the appearance of competence, a lot of that going on, but another person can use the same technology to really develop genuine competence. One person completed a task and the other person developed an ability. The real dividing line is not simply human work on one side and AI work on the other side. It's participating versus abdication. During my recovery, there were times when I understood an idea, but could not build the bridge between that idea and the words I needed. Artificial intelligence did not cross that bridge for me, because when you're working with AI, if a definition doesn't help, you can ask for a metaphor. When an explanation is confusing, you can approach it from a different direction. You can find a side door. But when Beacon would challenge me, I could see that I had overlooked some things. Even though I was so confident, I basically saved myself a lot of heartache by allowing something else outside of me to challenge me. AI did not help me escape work. It helped me become more capable to do the work and to return to the work I wanted to return to. It can make that work become mine again and feel confident that it is. And that's not cheating, people. That is called learning and growing and becoming. So the distinction became very clear to me during a recent academic review involving a student, one of our graduate students, whose work raised some questions about the involvement of AI. Most of the faculty and others that were involved in this meeting, they were definitely not opposed to AI. They were all AI advocates. And the deeper concern, I think, in this situation was whether the student had remained actively involved in the learning. As we asked questions, the student struggled to explain central ideas from the paper. And when the student could not tell us specific situations, mind you, that were about their personal lives, but it revealed something more important. The work had traveled farther in the learning process than the student had. And education has never been about producing the assignments. That's where many students get confused, but not just students. Many professors get confused too. Rather than just taking the time to make sure the student actually learned something or can demonstrate that they learned something. Education has never been about producing assignments. Its purpose is to develop people. The assignment is the evidence. The person is the outcome. And this is not only a student problem, adults do this too. We simply call it a strategy document and schedule a meeting about it. Any of us can allow a polished product to travel beyond our actual understanding. But I am not arguing that every difficult, tedious part of work should be preserved in the name of character development. Let AI organize the notes. Let it fix the grammar. Let it format the document and summarize the meeting that really probably should have just been an email. Nobody reaches the end of their life wishing they had spent more time correcting bullet point indentations. There's nothing noble about preserving busy work. What deserves protecting is the work that changes us. AI should remove unnecessary friction without removing struggles that form judgment. So, how do we know what kind of partnership we're building? And that's what we're talking about here. I use 3 questions that help me, and I'm going to share those with you as I promised at the beginning. And the first question is, can I explain it? Without reopening the AI conversation or the thread and reviewing it, could I describe the central idea in my own words? Could I give an example? Could I discuss it with someone who disagrees with it and actually hold an argument? The second question is, could I defend the choices behind the work? Do you know why one recommendation was accepted in this process of writing this thing, or why one of the other arguments that fits was rejected? The final question is, did the person leave more capable, or did I change? Did I grow? That's the best way to ask that question. Do I understand something that confused me before? To summarize the 3, can I explain it? Did I defend it? And did I grow from it? So those are 3 basic principles. I didn't set out with those 3 rules, but that kind of summarizes, when I was thinking about it for this, what the challenges are that I had to go through coming back from my strokes. Because if I couldn't do those three things, even though they were in different forms of the question, if I couldn't do them, I wasn't really coming back. And what good would that have been? I worried basically that needing help meant that I was becoming less capable. But instead, the right kind of assistance helped me exercise abilities that had become very difficult to reach. And before long, I was able to remaster those. It reconnected my ideas with my words, and I was able to express them and explain things. And that obviously is very important when you're trying to get back to teaching. And eventually, I stopped asking how to become the person that I was before the strokes, and a better question replaced it. Who can I become now? And the possibilities are endless. So the real possibility of artificial intelligence is much greater than faster emails, cleaner reports, or more polished presentations. A healthy partnership can help people become capable of more meaningful work, and even work that once felt beyond their reach. The greatest measure of a human AI partnership is not simply the quality of what it produces, it's the quality of the person emerging from the process. So that leaves us with the final question in this mini series. If artificial intelligence helps us become more capable, what are we becoming more capable of? Are we becoming more speedy, more productive, and more addicted to convenience? Or are we becoming more capable? Or could this partnership help us contribute to something meaningful that the world didn't have before, that our family didn't have before, our organization didn't have before? Could that partnership get us there? And that is where we are going in part 3. And so join me for that as soon as I can get it out there. I'm Corey Scott. Thank you for joining me, and stay curious, do the work, and never stop becoming more than you were before. See you next time.